Hi, this is Mike.
And this is Fran.
And this is Mike and Fran Unrehearsed, episode 42. Hey guys, guess what? We're back from Oregon. That's right. Right back in good old Barrington, Illinois.
Well, it's good to go to Oregon. We were there for 10 days, and we have a lot to talk about. It's truly God's country, and we enjoyed every minute.
We certainly did. And we had a little bit of excitement getting back here all in one piece, but we'll go into that in a minute. First of all, I wanted to remind you guys to check out. First of all, I want to remind you guys to check out our weekly events on our website. So go to www.mikeandfranradio.com and check out our Monday morning networking events with Cup of Joe. So if you guys have a small business and want to network with some like-minded folks, go to Facebook and check out Cup of Joe Networking Group. That's 8 a.m. every Monday morning, Central Daylight Time. And then if you like rebates when you buy things at the store, check out our Life's Super app, little 5-minute video, and it'll tell you just what you need to do to save at the store every time you buy something with cash back rebates that are instant right back to your account. There's a little 5-minute video, and we have Wednesday networking events at 7 p.m. My email's on there as well, mikelatone@gmail.com, or you can always email me at mikeandfranradio@gmail.com. And of course, if you have a pet, meaning a dog or a cat, check out Telehealth for Pets. For $12.99 a month, have 24/7 access to board-certified veterinarians for any minor issue bothering your cat or dog. And soon we'll be able to do the same thing for birds. And I almost said turtles, Mom, but that's not right.
Well, I said you didn't do alligators.
No, we didn't do alligators. Sorry.
Yeah.
We can do rabbits and birds. Oh, my gosh. So you guys that own rabbits and birds, there's still hope for you guys for pet telehealth. All right. Sounds good? All right. Awesome. So I want to remind you guys that if you like Mike and Fran Unrehearsed and you give us a small donation, we're going to give you a free gift. And the free gift is Mike and Fran's Words of Wisdom, or Do's and Don'ts, or Tips and Hints from episode 1. And guess what, Mom? Guess how many we have? I think there's like 26 or 27 of them just from that one show. Isn't that cool? And so we had a young lady, Alicia Stringer, give us a donation, and guess what she's going to receive? She's going to receive our report from episode 1. Mike and Fran's Words of Wisdom from episode 1. So isn't that awesome? She's going to learn how to what?
You going to send it to her? Or?
I'm going to email it to her. Yeah, I'm going to send her a PDF file,
Ooh, okay.
And she'll be good to go.
All right.
I'm going to email her a PDF, and she'll be good to go. She'll learn things like how to kill a couple of minutes in a conversation if you only have a couple of minutes left. Hee. Or how to feel good about your English language speaking skills. Or she'll find out what happens if you're a girl and you're in high school and you're good at math. All those things you're going to learn about, plus more, on our tips and hints and words of wisdom from Mike and Fran, episode 1. Awesome. So give us a donation and you'll get your copy of Do's and Don'ts and Hints and Tips from episode 1. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, we just got back yesterday at about 1:30 from our trip to Oregon. We were 10 days out there, which was fantastic. But what's funny is that all the direct flights were sort of scrubbed or canceled a week before we left, so we had to rearrange our flights with a layover in Denver. And I've never been to Denver before. Have you, Mom?
Oh, yes. Well, I've been back here now 70 years. When I first started, the first 20, 30 years, I always stopped in Denver. But for the last 30 years, our stop has always been in Seattle, San Francisco, Portland, L.A.,
Right.
or even Salt Lake City once.
That's right.
So this was the first time I've been through Denver in about 30 years, and
Yeah.
I was amazed how large it was.
Yeah.
That we had to go up, down on a tram. It equaled, well, like O'Hare. But the thing is, it's all spread out, and we got in at one gate, and we had to travel the whole thing, catty-corner to a far one, to get to the gate going to Portland.
Right. When we went out,
Yeah.
it was like landing at gate 1 and going to like gate 99
Yeah, it
to
was
get out of there.
91 or 99.
I think it was like 74 or something. But
Yeah.
but we had a guy, meet us at the gate with a wheelchair to help push us around a little bit. And we kept going and going and going, and we're going all the way to the end of this room where everybody's, getting
Waiting,
in line
and we went
to,
down in an elevator, and then we went up in an elevator.
Well, yeah. So you're in a room and you're going all the way down to the end, and you're not going anywhere in the room. You're going to an elevator and you're going down and into another building, a tram and another building, and you keep going and going and going, and it's like, holy crap. And I think the guy was like, I was kidding around. I like, you look like you're, you should be in the trials for the Olympics, because he looked like he was from Kenya or something.
And he was
very thin,
long legs, walked fast.
That's right. And I'm like, you're not even breaking a sweat, and we're dying here, buddy. You must be an Olympian or something, because they have the tryouts going on. But anyway.
Well, that was in Denver.
When we were going out, we had an hour and a half layover, and all the flights were on time, and everything was perfect. Coming back was a different story. We only had, we were delayed a little bit, but let's start at the beginning of that trip. So we had like a 5:20 a.m. flight on Monday morning, and so we had to get up at what
about
like
2:30, and we were leaving by 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and I think I got to bed at like 2 o'clock or something. So I mean, forget about sleep. But when I go out west, I'm okay going on zero sleep, because you gain those 2 hours. It's when you're coming back the other way is when it kills you, when you're going, from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Well,
because you're tired and then you're losing 2 hours. But anyway.
When we got to the airport, this was the end day, or towards the end of the Olympian trials.
Right.
Now, the Olympic trials for field and track are held at Hayward Field on the University of Oregon campus, my old alma mater.
Right.
And we had 170 people lined up for United.
Yeah.
Now, the Eugene, Oregon airport is not very large.
No.
When I flew out with my husband from Newark, New Jersey, when we were first married, he looked down and said, "We're landing by a barn." And he thought it was a barn in a field.
Right.
I said, "That's the airport." Of course, that was in 1955.
Yeah, but it hasn't
and they
changed
put your
much.
thing in through a window. They didn't even have a luggage carousel. They stuck it in through the window.
Through a window, they put the
through an
luggage
opening.
in?
Yeah, but that was 55.
Oh,
This
wow.
is a long while ago.
That's funny.
But anyway, with the Olympic trials, standing in that line at 4 o'clock in the morning were some of the tallest, lean, thinnest, long-legged young men and a few women you'd ever see in your life.
Good-looking
and
people.
their friends.
Yeah.
Because many people go to the trials in Eugene.
Yeah, yeah.
And we waited. I sat in a chair while Michael stood in line.
Well, on the way there,
I forgot my purse.
My uncle Lee drove us. He was nice enough to get up at 3 in the morning, and I told him, the day before we had a barbecue at the house, and he made his famous salmon on the grill. He puts butter on it, and then he has the sweet onions on the side, and it was really good. And we devoured it. The whole thing was completely
by the way,
gone.
the temperature that day was 111.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it was like that most of the days we were there. So the choice was Saturday or Sunday, and they're pretty much the same thing. I actually went to 2 barbecues, one on Saturday in Portland with my friend Olga, and
it was 115 there.
Yeah. And it was sweltering at this backyard barbecue. And guess what? No air conditioning in the house. She had one little window unit that I helped her put in the guest bedroom, which is where I stayed. And guess what? When it's 112 degrees outside and you put a little window unit in there,
115.
the only way you're going to feel it is to sit right in front of it and put it on your face. I swear to God. So that was like sort of a triage room for people that were getting a little queasy at the party. We'd put them in there on the chair right in front of the air conditioner, and maybe hopefully they'd come around. You know what I mean? And in fact, when I slept in there, I put my head where my feet were, so it was near the air conditioner, just so I can get to sleep. Of course, in the morning, it wasn't that bad, but oh my God, it was sweltering out there, just steam bath.
But it was not the humidity that you have in Chicago.
Yeah, but
It wasn't as
everybody you
hot
talk
as
to in
they
Oregon,
thought.
they're like, "How you doing? How are you doing? How do you think I'm doing? I'm sweating bullets over here." I went outside and there was a guy talking to a young lady across the street. "How are you doing?" "Well, how good can I be doing? It's so hot." Everybody
Yeah.
was dying out there. It's like, doesn't it happen every year out there, that heat?
No, this is the highest temperatures they have ever,
All right.
ever
Well,
had.
I remember sitting
No,
there on the
global
couch
warning.
with Warren, and we're watching the weatherman, and he said it was something ridiculous, like 35 degrees over
That's
normal.
right. It was 118 in
Ugh.
Roseburg, the city south of Eugene.
But
They've
that-
never had it this high
That
before.
doesn't happen every year,
No,
right?
this is the highest ever.
Is this global warming, or
Yep,
what is this?
I presume so.
So anyway, it was hot, 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 hot. I think you guys got that by now. So we
Well,
get
getting-
up. We get up at 2:33 in the morning. I told Uncle Lee. He goes, "Now, Michael, what time would you like me to come by and pick you guys up?" I go, "Thank you, Uncle Lee, for coming by. I really appreciate it." He goes, "Well, your flight's at when? 5:20." You know, and we're like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes from the
We're
airport.
close to
I go,
the
"Why don't
airport."
you come at like, maybe 4 or quarter to?" And he goes, "Well, I like to get there early. How about 3 o'clock?" And I'm like, "Oh," I go, "How about 3:30?" Well, let's say 3:45. Okay?
well-
Let's say 3:45. And when did he come? 3:25.
But
He came
he-
at 3:25, and then Catherine's in there grabbing your suitcase, and I'm like, "Hold on a minute, hold on. He came a little early. I still have a couple things to stuff in there. Just let me do the suitcase, and we'll be ready to go in a few minutes." So I tell Mom, my oh man. So I get my bag packed pretty much, and then I bring it into Mom's room, and then Lee comes in, and he goes, "Which one's ready?" I'm like, "Take that one. Okay, that one's good to go." And I'm still packing Mom's, and then Mom had all her stuff, her purse and everything in there, and then Nancy came. woke
No,
up.
Nancy was in bed.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to go say goodbye to my sister.
Yeah.
And they have a really big house. It's a beautiful house with
Yeah.
big corridors. You walk a mile in it.
Yeah.
And I walked into the kitchen and I left my purse on a chair. And I thought, well, I'll walk way down to her bedroom on one wing.
Yeah.
I don't need to carry this heavy purse.
Right.
So I went in and she was getting up and then we walked through the dining room and the den and I didn't go back to the kitchen. We're halfway to the airport and they call, "You left your purse."
Yeah, well, Warren gives me a text.
My ID was
Your mom
in it.
left
My
her
God.
purse here. And then at that point I go, "Oh, Mom left her purse." So no one's on the road. It's still dark. Lee takes his Cadillac there. What was it? It was, he does like a Yui right in the middle of the road there. Oh, it was Escalade. Yeah. So Lee takes his Escalade and he starts driving around in a big circle right in the middle of the road and starts heading back the other way. And then I go, "Oh wait, they're going to come and bring it to the airport." He goes, "Oh, that's even better."
We wouldn't have
and then
time.
we turned around and went back.
We didn't know we'd have to wait in a mile.
I mean, it was 10, 15 minutes to the
Yeah.
airport anyway, so it was pretty close. So we weren't that worried about it.
Yeah.
But if they were already on the way, that would save another 15, 20 minutes. And as it turned out, when we got to the airport, there was a line a mile long. Apparently,
170 people.
It wasn't 170 people in line when we got there. I mean, there's no way there was that many people
I
there.
think so.
But there was a lot of people, more than Lee has ever seen in a long
170
time.
on the plane.
Well, okay, on the plane, but it was the same line for United and the same line for sort of Delta.
Delta only had like 20
And you got
people.
there, and everybody was standing there like stumped, like, "I don't know what happened," and nobody was moving. So it was like one person checking everybody in, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh
it
my
was
God,
one person
this is
checking,
terrible."
that's true.
So we're sitting there, Mom's sitting there, and we finally checked in, and she gave me the receipt for the bags that you pay, $35 a bag or whatever. And then I go, "Okay, this is great." And I start walking around. "Come on, come on, come on." And then I look at the receipt, and I go, "Well, where's the boarding passes?" And I walk back to the ticket counter there, and she's looking my way, and I'm like, "Hey, boarding passes." She goes, oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh my God, really?" So she gives me the boarding passes. I go, Mom, we gotta go. Mom grabs her stuff. We check in. We go on the line. We do the X-ray. We get all the way up to the top. Mom's going to the bathroom. We're almost at the gate.
And I
We
forgot
got about
my
like
cane.
10 minutes before, whatever, final boarding or something.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Where's my cane?" And I'm like,
It was back
I
by
don't
where
know.
we first came in.
So I go back to the
Yeah.
X-ray area, and silly me, I was like recording it, trying to make a little thing of, "Hey, Mom lost her cane. Let's see what happens." And I was recording the people running around, and then one big woman goes, "You can't record that. I want you to erase that right now. That's illegal. You can get in trouble." I'm like, "Okay." I'm just trying to find a cane. And they go, "Which one did you come in?" I'm like, "Well, I came in here, but I don't think we had the cane when we got in line. If we were in line, it was over there where they,
Where it first came in.
where they first come in for people that are in a wheelchair, to check their IDs. Why don't you check over there?" "Well, what line did you?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is a waste of time." I go, "Well, and I go to one guy, "I left my cane here," and he goes, "Well, it's ours now." That's what he says. That's what he said. And then he goes, "Oh, well, you could probably look for it." He kind of backpedaled, and I'm like, "Well, that's great, but Mom kind of needs it." So I go all the way around. Oh, okay. So I'm at the elevators, and I'm trying to go back down to,
They won't let
to
you.
recheck in all over again. And guess what? You have to be an employee there to use their elevators.
Yeah.
And I pushed a button, and I'm standing in there. And I got all my stuff. I got my laptop. I brought the bags with me. I don't know what I was thinking. You're in the bathroom. I took the bags with me to go get the can. I should have left them with you, but then I would leave them outside alone while you were in the bathroom, and there was a lot of people there. So I didn't know what to do. So what did I do? I pushed the button in the elevator, and I'm going, "This elevator is not moving." And I look at the thing, and it says, "Must authorize to use elevator." And I'm like,
Well,
okay.
it took you
So-
about 20 minutes.
So I got out of the elevator, and I ran down the stairs, and I left all my stuff in the corner there by the dock, by the Oregon dock.
yeah.
I push it over there. I go, "Hopefully nobody steals my computer, because no one's here." And then I run down, and I recheck in all the way to the gate where we started from. There's no line there now, and there's the cane sitting there right where we left it.
Yeah.
So I grabbed it, came in. You're sitting out there. We got in fine. We just wheeled you right up to the front.
Then we waited because the
Everything was
personnel
fine.
wasn't there.
Everything was fine. And then, we didn't take off, right?
Because the personnel was
We
short
didn't take
because of
off
the
for
heat.
another 10, 15 minutes
Yeah.
because people that were calling in sick, that worked the ground crew,
Yeah.
were like suffering heat exhaustion
Yeah,
because it was so
that's
hot
right.
during the week. So they had a limited amount of
Yeah.
people working. So it was 10, 15 minutes. It was fine. It was when we got there, everybody was all ready to go, and they're looking at us like, "Oh, okay."
What was
We're waiting for it.
nice-
And then two other people came on, and then we sat and waited. And what I didn't realize is he was trying to get there about at the same time, but I don't know where the delay came in, because when we got to the other airport, we got to Denver, we had like 20 minutes between
Instead
flights.
of an hour and a
Instead of
half.
like an hour, we had
Yeah.
an hour. We had like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they said, people that have flights, you should leave first,
Mm-hmm.
and people that don't should stay on the plane and all this.
Well,
And
what
guess
was-
what? Guess what happened? We went from B2 to like B22.
Oh, that was good.
And that
Yeah.
was good. Otherwise, we might not have made it. If it was like A or something, you got to catch a tram.
What
over
was
there.
nice on both flights, leaving Eugene, Oregon, and leaving Denver, Colorado, the pilots, which sounded so young, came out and gave a big let's congratulate all
Yeah.
the Olympic tryouts on the plane,
Yeah.
and gave a speech and had everybody clap for
He did.
all the
He did.
Olympic tryout people on
when
there.
we boarded
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
when
nice.
we deplaned when we got there, he
Yeah,
did that.
yeah, it was
That-
nice.
That was pretty nice. That was pretty nice. So anyway, we got in about regular time. It wasn't too bad, and
Well, we had been up by Hayward Field
Yeah.
on the University of Oregon campus. We had gone Friday to a baseball game up on the campus.
That's right.
And it was nice to see the campus and see the Big O. And we went up on all the hills overlooking Eugene, Spencer's Butte, and Hendricks Park. Mike had never been up there.
Well,
And-
if I was going to
Yeah.
high school over there, I would have been up there with my little sweetheart, and we would have been cuddling up there. I guess
Yeah.
that's what they do there. Or,
Yep.
or spooning, right?
Yes, that's what we talked about. Yeah.
Spooning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is that we went up on the McKenzie River up into the Cascades to look at the burn, the big forest fire that went last year.
Right.
We went up
Right.
to Lieberg
Right.
Dam Fishery
Yep.
and went across the river where they have this fish rack and things. And I hadn't been up there in ages. Some
Yeah,
of our
a lot of-
relatives have a summer home up there
Oh, yeah.
that was burned.
Yeah.
Many were burned to the ground, and they were logging, cutting down a lot of the burned trees.
Well, I
to use as
remember.
wood.
I remember when I was on my Zoom calls of these like these magnificent photos of the fires from above
Yeah.
and from below, and the burning and the homes and all the destruction, and it looked like like a world war from the
No
airplane.
foundations.
No,
Just,
no, no, from the airplane. What you
from,
see is red clouds just like on
right.
fire.
Yeah.
And it was like insanity,
Yeah.
that photo, all those
Yeah.
photos that came out from that fire. So everybody remembers it well, and there's still a lot of rebuilding going on, especially in those areas.
They live in a trailer house while they're building.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was bad.
We also went down to the ocean, but we did not go down on the beach. My sister...
No. We went to the casino.
I know.
We went to Three Rivers Casino, which is like 5 or 10 minutes from the coast.
And that's
we never made it to the coast.
That's my sister's to treat her, Nancy. That was her biggest wish. So we said, we will take you down gambling.
We're gonna go,
and we
Mom.
enjoyed it too.
Mom, we go every time to the casino. So we're going to go no matter what. But we went with 2 cars because we were going to drive Nancy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We were going to drive Donna and Cindy back to Portland. And I was going to drive with Warren, and we were going to go up the coast. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to see beautiful sights driving up the coast.
Yeah.
And then Steven, who lives in Portland, was going to come down and meet us in Salem halfway. Otherwise, we'd be spending another hour and a half driving up there and an hour and a half driving back. Yeah. Because generally, I guess it's about a 2-hour drive from Eugene to Portland. But we were all the way to the coast. So I'm like, so I had to decide whether I wanted to drive back with Uncle Lee and you guys and go back the regular way, or go with Warren and go up the coast and see some sights. And I'm like, yeah, I want to see the ocean. And guess what happened?
You didn't.
Steve said that if we went up that way, it would be way too much traffic, and it would be another hour and a half before we met him, and he wanted to get home, and he wouldn't be able to pick us up unless we went another route, which would get us there a little bit quicker. And it was a terrible route for sightseeing because it was in these small, little, puny, little podunk towns. There was really nothing to see at all.
You were going through Tillamook, which was a cheese country.
So I'm like, oh,
not on the coast.
Yeah, well, we could have just maybe got a bunch of cheese and some beer and had some fun, but no.
Well, we did do the drag of Willamette Street, which is our main street in Eugene.
Right.
And of course, I've been 70 years now here in Chicago, so it has really changed a lot.
Right.
Because I used to work in the McDonald's Theater as an usherette. And worked in a drugstore. All of this has changed. Of course, in 70 years, what doesn't change? Well,
I did do a lot of video shots of driving around. So I was able to shoot a lot of video when I was out there. I did bring a little drone that I had bought a little while back, and I was hoping that maybe somehow I'd be able to go to the coast and get some really cool, overview shots or aerial shots of the coast. I think that would have been really cool to be able to do that. But of course, I couldn't get the thing talking on the Wi-Fi, so it's like I could fly it, but then it wouldn't send me any pictures or videos, so what's the point? So I left it for Warren to kind of fool around with. But I did take a lot of scenic shots because, Illinois is so flat. It's like you drive, you got nothing. You go south, you go all the way down to southern Illinois, and you have some rocks But yeah, Illinois is so flat, so you get to Oregon with all the hills and the valleys, and you just want to remember that. So I took some scenic shots driving in the car. I think they'll be pretty cool. So we're actually going to be shooting a video program on the same name called Mike and Fran Unrehearsed. Going to try to start it in July, but that's 2 days from now, right? Or yeah, that's like coming up quick.
That's up to you.
So we're going to try to incorporate some flashback video of Oregon into our video program. It's going to be along the same lines of what we're doing here on the radio, and we're going to continue the radio show, but we're going to add a video sort of element to our show. So that's going to be kind of fun, Mom. So we not only have to sound good, like I said a million times, but we have to look good.
I might have to get my hair cut.
Well, whatever.
We'll see.
Whatever you want to do. It's fine with me. Okay?
All right.
As long as it's not 8 in the morning, because I'm not going to be ready to go on the air at 8. I'm more of a night person for that kind of thing, but I think you know that. So one of the things we did out there was to keep Nancy entertained is I gave her my little Oculus Quest 2 VR helmet, and I had her in this room called alcove, which is a room that you can create with your own pictures. It's like your apartment that you never had, right? Your photos on the wall of all the things that are going on, from the trip and things like that. And then you can go to an ocean and watch the water go under your feet. You can go on a bus tour of Japan or Tokyo, or I don't know. You can go on a bus tour of France, or go on a hot air balloon in Sweden, or you can go to Tokyo, or you can drive across America in a car. So it's kind of cool. So she was having some fun with it, and I recorded some audio on that, so that'll be kind of fun. So I have a question for you guys. Have you ever had liver and onions? Liver and onions. Calf's liver and onions. Fry it in a pan, a little oil, butter. It's pretty good, actually. Mom used to make that, right?
We used to go to a place called Sherry's in Eugene, in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
And it was one of my mother's favorite things. And Lee and Mother and I used to go.
That's right.
So Lee took us there in memory of Mama.
That's right.
Of that, yes.
Now, they don't have liver and onions there anymore.
No, they haven't had it for many, many years.
But the waitress told me that there was a truck stop around the corner that does.
Yes.
So if you wanted liver and onions, you can still get it.
Well, I'm not going to fly all the way out there.
But you want it here, you're going to make it here.
I know.
I know. That's fine. But yeah, we went to share. I think I got like a veggie burger over there.
Yes.
Trying to eat healthy on the road, right?
Then we went to the country club with Lee and Robin, his wife.
Right.
We went to the country club also with Paula, my sister-in-law, and her husband.
Right. We went for lunch with Paula, and then we went for dinner with Lee and Robin. Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
But the big thing was the big barbecue with 25 people.
Yeah.
Where my sister Nancy and then my sister Donna and her daughter came down from Portland and were there 3 days.
Well, that was just kind of a party at the house with, deli meat and sandwiches and stuff like that.
Right. And Stephen and Jackie were there.
Stephen and Jackie came down.
And David, yeah.
I got a nice photo of Stephen and David. I'm going to send it to him.
Yes.
I was snapping shots, having a lot of fun. Steven started pulling some weeds out of there.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where'd you get those?" He goes, "Well, that's what I do."
I thought he was taking stuff for the garden. I thought it was some of the romaine lettuce or something.
Well, we did.
It was the weeds.
We did get some fresh lettuce from the garden.
Oh, her garden is just supreme.
Wasn't that great?
Supreme.
Very nice.
We also met April, who works at what kind of place is that?
A marijuana dispensary kind of thing?
She runs it or something, grows it?
They crank out something like 5,000 marijuana cigarettes a week or something.
It's a big deal there.
It's crazy.
Yeah?
Well, the whole marijuana thing is crazy. I mean, I guess you could literally just mow your lawn and smoke a joint or something. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to do that, but it's just kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know.
And my brother's Lee's daughter, Stephanie, brought over, somehow she ended up with a lot of the things that my father had from France.
Right.
The letters that women wrote to him.
Right.
His report card from the University of Nancy
outside
of Paris.
Things.
She had all of his tort papers when he studied law. And we went through that 3 or 4 hours one day. And her daughter was there. What was that cute daughter's name?
Megan.
So
when I was out shopping, I bought some of the little gummies there because I like those and brought them home. They sort of take the edge off, and I have a pretty low tolerance, so I just have a little bite on one corner. But, that's a secret. Oh, no. Did I just tell that to everybody? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, anyway, when I was out, I bought the little fireworks because July 4th is coming up. Megan was going in the car, and I'm like, "Megan, I have a surprise for you." And she saw the bag of big fireworks. She goes, "Oh, wow, that would be great." So she got really thrilled.
She's 17.
She's going to love it. I think that's about it for now, Mom.
Right.
So see you guys next week. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Goodbye, and miss all you people in Oregon. Hi.
Bye-bye now.